Good evening, welcome to Corporate Service Committee meeting, September 15th, 2025. Moved by Jason, second by Donna, that the Corporate Service Committee meeting be open at 7. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Steve, second by Mary, that the agenda for the Corporate Service Committee meeting for September 15th, 2025 be approved as presented. All in favor? Carried. Is there any disclosure of any interest in general nature thereof? Being none. Moved by Mary, second by Jason, that the minutes of the Corporate Service Committee meeting be held August 27th, 2025, be adopted as presented. All in favor? Carried. Presentation delegations, none. Items for discussion, staff reports.
So the first one is the Rural Ontario Development Grant. You have a copy of the application that's being proposed in your packages. I've also sent it to our representative at the ministry. She's reviewed it as well, so there's a little bit of tweaks in there that we can amend. Generally just more explanation on what the impact of the economic development strategy will be. So in essence, we are applying from the report that we gave the last time, we're applying for an economic development strategy. Part of that strategy is going to be looking at the Bonfield demographics, like who makes up our community, how does our community spend money, how far do they travel for work. Those are pieces that we need to be investment ready. If somebody does come forward and want to open up a larger business, we have to be able to give them that information. So one of the products out of this will be a community profile that puts us on that upper leg, right? So that we have the information there. Another one will be, we've sent out the information and you can see in the newsletter that we are introducing the business retention and expansion program. And the letter from the mayor is in there to all of our residents. So this consultant can also help with those action plans, and that will look at the bigger picture of the economy in Bonfield as well from the business lens, from the business owners, what they say, and that helps inform the strategy as well. How do we reduce those bigger barriers? How do we make the obstacles? What are we doing well? What are we not? And then that'll all get put in into the package to give us a short, medium, and long-term plan to grow Bonfield in the business point of view. So if there's any comments on the application.
I have a question. So the application for the funding, if they say in there, because you make the application and not necessarily you'll get the funding, right?
Correct.
So if we don't get the funding, do we still go ahead as we planned?
So we are just doing this strategy if we can get the funding. Otherwise, we'll have to put it in. It'll be part of the 2026 deliberation budget.
Okay, and that money that we put in, because there are other people involved, is that the portion of the municipalities, or is that for all of us, for the?
So it's just be Bonfield that will do that economic development strategy. The provincial funding is 50% up to a maximum of $50,000. In order to get all the products that we hope for, I have contacted other municipalities to see what they've spent in the last 2 years on similar plans, strategic plans. Kirkland Lake also just did one. I reached out to a few consultants that have been doing these projects, and they did say that the $60,000 would be very reasonable for what we're looking for. And from that, so it's 50% on that. So the province would give us the 30,000, and then we would have to contribute the 30,000 as well for that strategy. And then there's the incidentals like the meetings and when, so we can offer coffee and tea and stuff at meetings. And that's on Bonfield. I put that as on Bonfield as well.
Okay. That's good.
Moved by Donna, second by Steve, that the Corporate Service Committee approves and recommends that the Township of Bonfield applies to the Rural Ontario Development Program to hire a consultant to complete an economic development strategy for the Township of Bonfield, and further acknowledge any cost overruns will be the responsibility of the township. All in favor? Carried. Award marketing firm for economic development. We just
So you have a report that's in front of you. We put it in RFP for those economic development pieces, because we do want to have that consistent brand for economic development over the next 6 months. 2 submissions were provided from SOFA Communications and TWG Communications, both from North Bay. There was an evaluation that was done, part of the RFP. The planning administrator and myself did the criteria. So SOFA Communications scored the highest at 91.5 out of 100 for the average. So we're recommending that SOFA Communications, based on that, be awarded the contract. The project.
moved by Steve, second by Donna, that the Corporate Service Committee meeting recommends that SOFA Communication be awarded the marketing RFP for the Township Economic Development Initiative for growing Bonfield. All in favor? Carried. Steve, draft OCEP grant for the placement of trees in municipal park.
I can start to speak to this, and then our public works manager can jump in when we can't. We received an email from a resident a while ago, this year, and he had highlighted to us that a number of the ash trees in the park were dying or were in fact dead. So they would be a risk hazard for our park. Not only that, but the disease from the ash borer. So we went out and marked them and didn't realize how many of them were actually infected by the disease. So that's what the little white X's are on all of the trees in this park here. So then this grant became available. It was a project that was identified that we really should be trying to build that tree canopy back up in our park, because we know we have to cut these ones down. The plan would be that Public Works could cut some of them down. Some of them were too large that we'll have to hire someone to do that. Another piece of it, when we're putting them back in, we do still want the native trees that are for this area, but we're also looking at fruit bearing trees, kind of in theme with the community garden. If we can plant some apple trees, maybe a pear tree, but we'll consult with experts to see what might be able to grow in our community, and then that just kind of ties everything together. So Alex has been working with Andre on this as well. So
we've got, say, about 15 to 20 trees we can take down in house. A couple of them quite big, diameter base height, so we're gonna need a contractor. I've reached out to the contractor that took down the trees in Centennial, or the walnut tree that was pretty decrepit there. So he, once he's back from his normal job, said he could swing by and put together a quote. So we can kind of judge from there where we want to go, and then depending on the grant application as well, I think that'll help us get a baseline really to work off of. So
It's funny, I was looking at that this spring, how many trees were dead out here.
there's a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
we marked over 45 trees.
yeah.
And
Yeah, there's some big ones like down in the gully there by the ravine that are, they're big.
Yeah, no, it's too bad that they get infected like that.
Yeah, and I don't know, I mean, I could be wrong, but in my past with doing tree work and stuff, we've tried the injections and that sort of thing, and nothing's really taken. It's just been a waste. So
Yeah.
it's sad to see, but
And it's too late. They're
they're
dead.
past
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So part of the budget for the project is there is in kind, obviously, from the municipality for our public works staff. Cutting the trees down, that's roughly $2,700. And then we have been working with a tree company, and everybody's been reaching out to them to get the prices. So we've got some oak trees, some maple trees, some apple trees, winter red, winterberry, cherry trees, weeping willows. Again, it all depends on the soil. Some of the soil on the top half of the park is very wet all the time. So trying to find something that will grow in there.
Oh, perfect for a weeping willow.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to make sure that we're lining up the soil with the tree type for success. So the trees are about $7,000. Then we have to hire someone to remove some of the trees, do some soil analysis, and then we may need some assistance planting some of the other trees again. So that's around $10,000. And then we do want to get a grinder as well. So instead of ripping out the roots, grind down the roots so we're not making a mess in the park.
Sure.
So that's about $1,200 too. So in total, we're looking at around $21,500 for the grant.
Are we doing stump grinding or are we hiring the contract that out?
In the grant.
It's just, yeah, that was the rental,
Yeah,
I believe.
that's
This
the
rental,
rental.
we could do it in.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, it's a 3-day rental.
I'm guessing companies like Eagle Tree are
Yeah.
just super
Yeah.
expensive. Like, it's quick and efficient.
They're quick and efficient. I mean, I've used them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good at what they do.
Oh, yeah, and he's like certified arborist, they're gonna look at that and say, yeah, 100%, you guys are ready, it needs to come down, and just the cost for some of them, because even that one, unless you just drop it, right? It's so big with those limbs, you'd have to crane it out of there, so, or a bucket truck, right, and that's
Mhm.
another cost.
And then we just cut it up and gone or mulch it or.
Yeah, we were discussing a few options,
Mhm.
being as the wood is kind of rotten, we were thinking of making chips, but then we don't wanna have anything fall back on us with the ash board or anything like that, right? So we were playing with maybe just bucking it up and giving it away as firewood to the
Firewood.
residents, because I'm sure people need, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Camps or houses or whatever, right?
I mean, I think it's a great idea. Like, it's great firewood.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I burn a lot of ash.
Yeah, so we figured, if the residents wanted to, you come pick it up and help themselves to some heat.
Part of us dealing with the company as well is just to see how do we dispose of these trees, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We want to make sure that
We're not-
we're not going to further the problem or create a bigger problem, and we don't want that risk. So we've
Yeah,
been
that's,
talking to see how that works. And
And I guess if that's the case, we just put it in the back of the dump truck and send it to the landfill and burn it.
burn it there, yeah, control for.
Yeah.
so we'll get advice to make
Sure.
sure, but I mean, ideally, our plan would be for hardwood, like give it to residents and just have a list, but
I think it's great to let the residents have it. All right, moved by Jason, second by Steve, that the Corporate Service Committee approves and recommends that the Township of Bonfield apply to the Ontario Community Environment Fund to replace the trees in the community park. All in favor? Carried.
A little bit earlier, but obviously we can do things like sponsor a tree. Like
yeah, once we know whether we have the grant or not, then we can scale the project. So obviously the trees need to come down. If we don't get the funding has to be a minimum request of $5,000, so we're over that at 21,000. But it will depend on what they do award us, on how much we will get done to rebuild the canopy, right?
When is the deadline?
September 30th.
Okay. And when will we know?
On both, I don't think we'll know until the new year.
I think it's great that you're gonna try to match the have the soil analyzed and match it to what trees would grow best there.
Like the willows in Centennial, like when we were talking about them, right, like it's a shame that it had to come down, but the base and chunk of the tree was just totally gone. It became such a safety issue, right?
Right.
They look so nice next to the lake.
Yeah.
And kind of really accent the park well.
Yeah.
But it was, it was great there. It had lots of water supply.
Oh, yeah, so,
The ministry doesn't give seedlings anymore, right?
I am not sure. I know that the province still has the program. I'm not sure if it's the province or the federal government anymore that has that plant 50 million trees by a certain year. But you need to have 2 acres or more that you're going to completely plant. to be eligible.
And I think, isn't it just spruce and pine?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
it's-
yeah,
it's
and that's all
fine.
it is.
It'd be like the landfill, I think, yeah. Like the landfill.
It's just they give away spruce and pine seedlings, which I
Yeah.
don't think would grow
That's right,
very well here.
big trays of the
Yeah.
man.
Hydro poles.
Yeah, yeah. Don't want you to grow them for 'em.
Just thought there might be some free ones.
honestly.
Yeah,
I wish.
yeah.
All right. Moved by Mary, second by Donna, that this meeting be adjourned at,
No, a verbal update.
verbal update, sorry to jump in the gun.
So it's 6:30 today. Miller just finished up. We did the 1 kilometer section on Pine Lake to just past Shields Point, and then we did another 1.2 kilometers approximately from Mount Pleasant to Rather Glen Line. So they're done tar and chip there. I think they did a good job. It looks great. So we were on site with them for most of the day. And then moving forward, I know we've got the gravel application that we were discussing, possibly moving or keeping that. I think our thought behind moving it or prolonging it till next year was just because of the fresh tar and chip. But I understand the concerns around that, as we've been burned in the past here with stuff like that, so.
Yeah, I mean, but we're not gonna run over that brand new tar and chip, so.
That's the only issue. I mean, I did speak to Miller today. Aaron's just waiting to hear back from his higher ups on whether or not they'll agree to, I think it was a 50%, we said, and then do the rest next year. Pay it once it's complete. But he said to his knowledge, as of now, they have no issues prolonging it till next year. So, I should hear back from him probably Wednesday, because I spoke to him again this afternoon. They're starting our stockpile at the shop Wednesday, Thursday. Of aggregate. So.
Sorry, what's the issue? We don't wanna drive over stuff that we just did.
Yeah, so
To another
essentially like
section?
with it's not so much driving over it, it's the turning, right? So the trucks and trailers with all that weight turning on the new surface treatment down Shields Point.
And you can't get to it. And
There's no other way other than the Pine Lake Hill. So if you look, we've blended the transition from the existing tar and chip to the new gravel. So it's kind of extended into the Shields Point intersection to try and kind of meet both of those. So I just hate to do it torn up, right? It's possible that it couldn't get, it might not if it sets properly, but I mean, with the amount of traffic, I don't
Or,
believe that.
yeah, you're running an expensive risk.
Yeah, it's a big hiccup with it.
I mean, go ahead, G.
Is there other areas? I mean, there's no shortage of roads that need gravel in this community. I would imagine we'd be shifting a priority to say, we can't get it done this year. We have a budget coming up where we're gonna be deliberating again another gravel program. I'm pretty sure. My understanding is we're all kind of on the same page of wanting to continue to put gravel in. So do we do nothing this year or some, or do we put gravel other places and then come back to?
Yeah, I guess
next
that
year,
brings
right?
us back to where we were at the start with if we wanna do some of the smaller roads in town. We could do that, or, you know.
I think people want to see the gravel program happening. Like,
Oh,
we
for sure,
talked about
and
it
I
for sure.
think it's worked well, it's just, yeah, it wasn't really thought through when I tendered. That we'd have to access through that one road with
Right.
tar and chip, right, so.
Yeah, I mean,
You
the
just want-
storm really kind of put you back.
Well, we got pushed 2 weeks
Yeah.
with this tar and chip, right, and it's supposed to be the 26th
Yeah, so they're
essentially,
2 weeks earlier than it
Yeah.
should be.
yeah.
And gravel would have been done if it hadn't been pushed, but it was pushed up, so, and they wouldn't change, remember the last one that they did for the surface treatment? So we couldn't push it, so, I mean, we absolutely still wanna do the gravel program, so it's that we put 50% down this year, and then we do that plus the budget next year, so next year there'll be more roads done. Or we do all of the smaller roads, cause it's only 2,300 tons,
You're right.
so we do
How many
all the
kilometers is that
smaller
gonna be?
ones,
I think
is that enough
around 3,
to make
3
it?
kilometers?
almost.
I mean, I
Those
would,
points only
right, so my
3.6, I believe. so.
feelings is we should just hit it and hit a couple side roads
Well, cause we do have some of the smaller roads in town, right, that do need aggregate.
Oh, they all need it,
Even
right?
some of the ones off even, like, some of the roads that get messed sometimes, right?
Even more roads than you
So
Can I-
with the,
Sorry, just my last point would be, if we pivot to side roads, which probably doesn't have the traffic to pack it between now and plowing season, are we gonna be plowing this gravel into the ditch, right? Like, if it's a heavily traffic road, I get it, like, then it packs a little better and faster.
For sure,
If it's a
yeah.
side road, I'm not, this is
Like,
what I've
there's-
done these last
no,
3 years of roads.
There's definitely ways around it. Like when we rented a packer
Right,
for Wine Lake and, development there, right, and poured the water to it, created it.
So
Mixed it all
yeah, we
together,
could do something like
compacted.
that.
We could definitely do something like
Okay.
that. But no, I do like, yeah, that is a definite possibility that it doesn't bind properly and.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've started something pretty good with the gravel program and, like, I'd hate to see it pause.
No.
And I would like, absolutely get I mean, I know it's not in the budget but like, yeah, rent the roller, get some water on it, pack it down and it's good.
Mhm.
And we're continuing, and then I know you probably don't have it as prepped as you want it to have it prepped, like, pulling berms and stuff, but I mean, it's still, getting it on there and, you can always touch it up afterward.
For sure.
It's a nice part about a gravel road, the grader can go clean it up afterwards.
Exactly, yeah, you're not stuck there like hard top.
Right. No, yeah, I mean, for 3 kilometers, I think, we can find roads to put apply the gravel to. And I mean, something that's fairly close where Miller's not gonna, complain on the kilometers.
Right, exactly.
So now we're getting lately here. Would Alex have to go back and make recommendations and bring that back to council and wait for decisions and go back, or? Is this something that, with his experience and expertise, he can just pivot and work?
I think he should be able to just make the decision.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone at the table is okay with it,
Yeah, I'm just
I
worried.
have no issue with even,
Yeah,
like, when's our next council meeting?
23rd.
23rd. Like, I can throw together a list of roads by then that I know 100% need it, and
I mean, myself, I'm confident that the roads and where you can apply it fairly close, where Miller's not gonna be upset about kilometers.
yeah, right.
And, I mean, I would think that's a public works.
Sorry to interrupt, Nikki, the defib's back. Yes,
I'm comfortable with Alex. I mean, that's his job. He should be able to make that decision.
yeah. I don't know.
We're not going over the kilometers, we're not going over the money.
No,
Yeah,
the
he's
budget's
just choosing the
different,
road.
it's a different road.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, politics really shouldn't dictate which roads get done from a gravel standpoint anyways. I mean, my logical brain would say, the one that gets the most amount of traffic and is the most noticeable that gets done, that niche it, obviously,
Right.
But, I mean, they all need to be done.
that's it. So,
Mary, you have anything to add?
I'm good.
Okay, no, I'm just-
I've been listening. I drove down development on Saturday and out and about. And I thought the roads are in very good condition. Little bit dusty on development, but at least it's smooth driving.
right,
It's not all that bumps and humps and everything, so.
good. No, I agree. Like the roads, there's been a big improvement. So, and it just takes time. I mean, it's been a while, it's been a long time, and so it takes time to put them back the way they should be.
and it's a catch-22, because the smoother you make the road, the faster people drive, and the more dust it creates. Keep it washboard, they slow down, less dust, like it's.
I was just enjoying that.
For sure.
Big cloud behind you.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't too bad until we got close to the end coming this way.
Farmers.
Where it was a bit
Yeah.
dustier than out towards the Brother Glen Lane.
Well, we're gonna be into the rainy season here shortly, so there'll be no more dust.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Awesome.
dew in the morning's nice.
Mhm.
Okay, Nikki, you can just read the motion.
You want to do a mover and second, or you want me to read it and then do a mover and second?
Sure.
Okay, so the Corporate Services Committee recommends that the Public Works Manager divert the gravel intended for Shields Point Road to smaller roads within the township and be authorized to rent a roller to pack the gravel.
Mover and seconder.
Well, she's already.
Every single one of us.
And I mean, want to be clear that Shields Point will be done next year instead.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been,
Yes,
Well,
Stay in the, yeah.
it'll stay there. Like I said, we're just
And
pivoting.
the budget stays.
Right. I just want to make sure.
I mean,
people-
yeah, I think that's a good idea too, on another basis, because there is some ditching that needs done on Shields that we didn't get to right after the storm, because we got
Perfect.
pulled away. So it'll give us some time to clean that up and get some.
But you had the culvert work done.
Yeah.
And then when you finish the gravel part of it back on Shields Point, then you're going to do that hill. Will you do
Which hill?
coming off the highway?
Oh, we did it
it's
today.
done.
Oh, you
Today,
did it.
today it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they time checked it,
I'll have to go
first thing
check
this
it out.
morning, yeah.
That's why we don't want to send the gravel down there because it'll just rip it out.
Yeah, I don't want the trucks to mess up the
You
new
gotta
stuff.
leave it a bit.
Yeah, I'll let it pack in.
Mhm.
So,
That's the only thing.
All in favor?
Oh.
Carries. Okay. Resolutions be considered for adoption.
Did well.
Perfect. Correspondence, none, adjournment. Moved by Neri, second by Donna, that the meeting be adjourned at
7:23.
7:23. All in favor?